Good morning. It's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to create a space of healing and support as we count down towards my 12-hour healing event on Monday, the 8th of April. So we're currently on video 2 days to go, which means after this there will be just one more, and then we're going to dive deeply in on Monday for some really deep healing. So if you'd like to join me for that, you can register on my website, templeofbalance.com.au. So, welcome. I want to send out a big extra special welcome to those of you who are participating in my 12-hour healing event. This is for you, this is for us as we prepare to dive in, and I'm doing this publicly so that anyone else who isn't coming on Monday, who is inclined to be here or get something helpful out of this, that they can also receive. So welcome to you, those of you joining me. I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Saturday, the 6th of April, and the time is 7:42 a.m. So welcome. My plan is similar to what I've been doing the last few days with my countdown videos since day 5. I am going to be pulling a healing energy card. So I've got my combined deck here of healing energy cards, the original deck, which I now call deck 1, and healing energy cards 2, my newest deck that came out last year. These have been combined to make a 110 card deck. So I'll be using this deck to find the best card to start the healing time today. Then I've got a very special instrument. I've borrowed Corey's Phoenix drum. So I'm going to be drumming, and it sounded beautiful when I just tested it a moment ago. So I look forward to playing that with you soon. And then I'm going to pull a card to go. So that'll be me for the next 15, 20 minutes, depending on how much I talk and how much drumming I do. So as I'm going into this energy, so as we're coming out of yesterday's, so yesterday we did, 3 days to go, we did an uplifting coming out of the cocoon. I talked a lot about self-trust, self-confidence, and the day before, 4 days to go video, we did clearing and letting go. And then the day before, on the 5 days to go, it was the turning point, and really looking at how we can turn things around for ourselves. That it actually is up to us to do that if we need things to shift and improve in our life. So if you missed any of those videos, you'll find them in the video library. So as I'm going into this particular video this morning, I feel this energy of stabilising that wants to come through as things want to stabilise and settle. This is like a groundedness, this is integration, this is anchoring. This is security in some ways too, depending on the situation and the energy. But when things stabilise, things seem to feel a bit more secure, or a lot more secure. So this is what I'm feeling as I'm coming in. I'm going to be guided by the cards, and we'll go from there. So welcome. Please take on board what feels right and what does resonate and fit into your life easily, and let the rest go. Let me know if you're watching, because the Facebook live videos are clearly people are not being notified at all. So let me know if you're watching live, if it's got the live button up here probably, or if you're watching the replay, just for interest's sake. So I am now looking for the best card that the majority of us need as we flow into this space of healing time and support time, and basically you time. This is hopefully time where you can kick off your shoes, close the door, and just have 15 or 20 minutes for yourself. So the best card to start this journey is this. Hi Belinda, welcome. We've got a card from the original deck, probably, could be upgraded, but it's from deck 1, and it is from the original deck, and it is very grounding and stabilising. This is the support card, card 50. And it's in the rest category. So there's a sense of pulling back with this particular card or with this particular energy, a sense of settling, of sitting back with something instead of pushing. You know, sometimes we need to find that balance, don't we, between pushing forward and leaning forward and being active in our life and finding time to rest. Now, if we rest too much, we become lazy and probably bored. And if we're too active, then we burn ourselves out. So it really is finding the balance that works for us personally based on our life situation, our environment, our lifestyle, our personality, and what we're going through will determine how much of these things that we need in balance and in moderation. If we push too hard, we're going to burn out. If we rest too much, we're going to get lazy. Lazy and lazy. Hi, Felix. Lynn, my old, but not old, but my very old babysitter from when I was very little. Welcome, Lynn. It's always great to see you here. And sending you lots of love, always. So, card 50, support. Let's look a bit closer at this card. It says love. It says through support comes great protection, assistance, and a reminder that you are never, ever alone. Strength, stamina, protection, companions. Now, this reminds me of like a masculine support. So, I think of like a father, a paternal sort of support, which is more protective. A motherly, maternal support tends to be a bit more nurturing, more of a nurturing support, and the paternal support tends to be more protective. That's what this card is. It brings protective support, you know, like a reassurance that we are safe, that we are not alone, that we will get through this. And both of these types of support, the nurturing side and the protective side, both have their place, just like the rest and the active, the restful and the active energy also have their place. So it's like a balance between those. If there's too much of the nurturing, then we might become a bit, wrapped in cotton wool, a bit afraid to bump ourselves because we might fall into pieces. So if there's too much of the motherly nurturing, it comes out of balance, and too much of the protective support, then we can become out of balance too. So there is this balance that I'm feeling. In fact, it's coming in quite strongly with what I'm talking about, is this balance between both the mother and the father, the masculine and the feminine, the nurturing and the protective. So bringing that in. So this specifically highlights the protective element of support. So where are you feeling unsafe, uncertain? Where are you feeling weakened and you are craving for perhaps that more fatherly support to come in and protect you and hold you and reassure you that everything's going to be okay? There is a lot of like beings, there's in this case spiritual animals or totems that are coming in this particular artwork and card as well to come in and support. So we've got the owl and the wolf and the bear and the elephant and the stag also coming in and gathering around. So there's absolutely no doubt that we are not alone right now, and we might feel like we're doing it on our own. The question might be to ask ourselves too, are we pushing support away, especially the protective support that we need to protect us and keep us safe? Now, sometimes if I'm feeling particularly weakened and I need that more fatherly protective support, I will tend to call out all of my ancestors, my loved ones in spirit, the Creator, all of my spirit guides, and I'll call them in to help protect the space. So whether it's protecting me, my home, if there's wild weather, or protecting someone I love who is struggling at this time, then I call forward assistance and the support of my spiritual team to help reassure me that either I or my possessions or my loved ones are safe and protected, that they will get through whatever it is that they're going through at this time. I often too, if I'm feeling a bit sort of, concerned about my children, say, their car or whatever. I'll also imagine protective shields around their vehicles, around their home, just around them and their partners, to give me peace of mind that they are safe and protected, so that I can actually get some sleep instead of worrying unnecessarily often about those people I'm closest to. So don't be afraid to do that. I think we've forgotten perhaps over the years how much we can call on our loved ones in spirit to help support those that we are concerned about in our life, and to come forward and support us if we need it too. So I'm going to play the drum here, the Phoenix drum. What can I say about this drum? This is a special drum, and I feel it does hold the energy of the Phoenix. Now, the Phoenix is a beautiful symbol of rebirth, of also lifting up out of the ashes. The Phoenix is born out of the ashes of its predecessor. So the Phoenix bursts into flame, the ashes drop of the Phoenix, and then from those ashes, its predecessor is born. So another Phoenix is born out of the ashes of its ancestor. And this is a reminder, to pick ourselves up, that if we've been rolling around in the mud and things have been really difficult and heavy and challenging and despairing, and we don't know how we're going to get out of it, then just even the first step of imagining, and maybe even quite literally, standing up and dusting all the ash and the mud off us, can be a way just to get back on our feet and then see where we go from there. So there is this renewal, there's a rebirthing feeling with the Phoenix. It does tend to bring new energy forward, and it's also quite uplifting. So it inspires within us, if we're open to it, a sense of uplifting, a sense of getting on our feet again. It might not be taking to flight, because that might be miles away from the space that we're in. But if we've been rolling around in the ash and the mud, and we're heavy and we're tired and we're exhausted and we're tired of fighting, then perhaps the best thing we can do to lift up out of that is to just get back onto our feet. And maybe onto our feet's too far. So for some of us, it might be just getting up onto our knees first, dusting the ash off and reassuring ourselves that we are safe and protected and that everything's going to be okay. And reminding ourselves that we are not alone. So if you're in that space where you feel lost and alone and unsafe and dark and depressed, and like you're rolling around in the mud and you can't breathe and you're exhausted and you don't know how things can get much worse, if you're in that space, you're probably feeling alone, and without realizing it, you're probably pushing support away. So welcome support in. Ask someone to help you, and ask your loved ones to help you in spirit as well. So I'm going to play the drum, and I hope and trust that you enjoy it. Hi everybody, Maria, Alicia's here from Wisconsin, welcome. Joseph's here, Marjorie, and Lena is here, and everyone else, welcome. It's great to see you. So I'm going to play the drum. There's nothing you can do wrong. Just listen and let the sound of the drum hold and support you. You might feel it sometimes like it's your mother's heartbeat holding you in her womb, growing you, bringing you to life, and feeling that motherly heartbeat, the motherly energy around you, holding you, supporting you, feeling your father's energy around supporting you too. And this could represent like your physical mother and father. It could just be your inner mother and father coming in and looking after and protecting your inner child. So nice big breath. I'm not going to talk, and I trust you enjoy. you. We've got some surround sound with all the rattling things in my room. So I trust it wasn't too distracting. Thank you so much for joining me for the drum and for this time that we're spending together. Perfect that I chose the drum, really, and pulling this card is certainly a synchronicity. So this is the support card 50. If you have the healing energy cards and you resonate with definitely needing support, especially a protective support, then I encourage you to grab this card straight from your deck and keep it close by for the next couple of days if you need to. So thank you. I'm going to pop this card back and I am going to pull a card to go in just a minute. Before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment. Please share if you're inspired to. And if you'd prefer to connect more privately, then please don't hesitate to send us a message through our website or through email if you know it. So, I'm doing this countdown 2 days to go in preparation for my 12-hour healing event on Monday. So 2 days to go until the healing event. 12 hours of healing focused, and the theme is creativity shadow. So we're going to be looking at how and what's in the way of us accessing every potential within us. And we're going to be deep diving on Monday for healing. If you want to join me, you don't have to join me as it happens on Monday. You can join later. After Monday, you'll have access to all the videos at whenever suits you. So if you'd like to dive in, if it's calling you to go through some deep healing and shift some deep things, then I recommend that you have a look at my 12-hour healing event at templeofbalance.com.au. Okay, let's now grab the best card. Thanks, everyone. Beautiful. I am looking for the best card that the majority of us need for the next 24 hours. So in about 24 hours, not exactly because I just come when I have time and feel like it, but in around 24 hours, I'll be back for 1 day to go video. So I'm looking for the best card to carry us between now and then, and especially in relation to the support energy and the things that I've already talked about. So the best card to support us and to think about as we move forward for the next 24 hours is this. It's from the original deck again, and it is Soothing, card 52. It's in the depth category now, so it's calling us deeper down into ourselves, into a quiet, perhaps internal place of connection, of soothing and calming if we need that. And that is what this sort of stable energy does. It's also can be very calming. So I think when my feeling of using the drum and my feeling of stability before even starting this video has certainly been on point. This down here says emotional soothing, exploration and stabilizing. Welcome contentment into your heart and your life. In other words, if welcome contentment into your heart and life, it might be worth thinking about, really seriously asking ourselves if we are closing ourselves off to improvement. Are we closing ourselves off to help, to love, to support, to protection? Are we pushing it away without realizing it? Sometimes we push away, weirdly enough, I don't know why we do it, but we tend to push away what we actually want. So sometimes I find anyway, quite revealing when I stop and pay attention to myself and what I'm thinking, what I'm saying, what I'm doing. And if I notice myself pushing away, but I'm actually wanting what I'm pushing away, it's kind of this weird push-pull, this weird thing, then I have to stop pushing it away and I have to put my weapons down. I have to put my guard down and let it come in. And instead of pushing it away, I need to say, thank you for coming in. I needed you, instead of going, I can do this on my own, and push it away. So I think we have to be really careful that we're not pushing away actually what we want and what we desperately need. So welcome contentment into your heart and your life. Stop pushing contentment away. Stop pushing stability and support away. It says heart healing and opening. So again, we need to be open for that to happen and stop closing ourselves off and pushing it away. And it also says gently, gently, which is I was going to swear, which is a perfect reminder for us if we're struggling. You know, if we're struggling to think ahead, if we've got just so much going on and we're stressed and we're depressed and we're in a dark place and we're grieving sometimes as well, when we're feeling like we're grieving, I find it very comforting to remind myself, just go gently, gently, gently. You know, don't be too hard on myself, because we can tend to be very attacky and very critical and very harsh towards ourselves. So something perhaps to keep in mind. But this is a soothing energy. It especially brings emotional stabilization, emotional contentment and calm. And when we feel that, we'll probably find it ripple out or reflect out into our life. So moving forward with this in mind, how can you apply this? How can you consider this over the next 24 hours? Maybe notice what you're pushing away. Be aware of what you're thinking and saying and doing, and make sure you're not pushing away that which you so desperately want. And if you do notice yourself pushing it away, then, you know, drop that. Put your weapons down, put your shield down, and see if you can let it in and see if something changes, see if it works better than pushing it away. And if you have the healing energy cards, you may want to go straight to this card and keep this close by too for a couple of days, or at least the next 24 hours, if this really resonates with you. There's a playful energy with this too, so lightening up, playing, spending time with others. Oh, I'm rollerblading today with my niece and nephew and my son. I'm very excited because I've been hanging out to rollerblade for, I could say, years, since my kids left home, because I don't do it so much anymore, which is a bit sad. But I'm very excited to bring a playful element out today, so I can see, like, for me, how that playfulness and doing something fun, especially with young people, is going to be uplifting. So see what happens, see what you feel, see what you've got going on for the next 24-ish hours. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your day. And hopefully I might see you again tomorrow for One Day to Go video. Take care, and sending you lots of love always. Thank you. Namaste.